Today on Trucking It Up in the Kitchen, we are going to tackle the Super Bowl Munchies. So are you guys ready for the Munchies spread, the spread of the game? Whatever you guys want to call it, we're going to get right into the snacks. We're going to tackle three things today. It's going to be a chili pasta bake with hot dogs in it. Then we're going to do pretzel sticks with homemade mustard cheese sauce. And last but not least, we're going to do cheeseburgers. But we're going to truck these cheeseburgers up the Dewey way, and we're going to turn them into empanadas. So let's get ready for this kitchen action throwdown. We are going to start with our dough, which is for our pretzels. We're going to do 4.5 cups of flour. We're going to start by adding our packet of dry yeast to this very warm water, about 150 degree water. We're going to dump that in. Cool, so after our yeast hits the water, we are going to do some kosher salt, regular salt, pink salt, whatever salt we want to do. Throw that in with the water. Ooh, it's got a little bubble going. Then we're going to add sugar, but that's going to be double the amount of sugar. Just let that go. And the reason we're doing our dough first is because this has to actually do its little reaction thing and get fizzy and bubbly. So we are going to start on our filling for our empanadas. Basic, like we're going to make hamburgers. Like just nothing crazy, nothing different. Nothing out of the ordinary. With your basic hamburger, put that into your pot. There we go. So we're going to let this fry up real quick, and for our seasonings for that, we're going to just do whatever steak seasoning you use, burger seasoning. I just use basic steakhouse Montreal seasoning, and then a little pepper. Now that your hamburger is almost done all the way, you're going to drain all the grease, almost all the grease out of it. You want to leave just a tiny pinch because you're getting ready to add your favorite hamburger toppings. Don't add your lettuce or tomatoes because it's not going to turn out the right way. I mean like your pickles, your garlic, your onions, your fresh peppers, whatever type of stuff you like. I'm going to add fresh onions and fresh dill pickles, whatever. If you prefer sweet, do you. We're going to actually let this get nice and soft in there and cook the rest of the way with the hamburger. But while we're doing that, our yeast is ready to be added to our dough. Now, as soon as you see it frothing and bubbling and doing its action, that means it's activated. It's good to go. You're going to add that right in your dough. And then remember, some of the good stuff sticks on the bottom, so you're going to want to give that a good scrape. Now, to that, you're going to add melted, not fresh, not cold, but melted 2 tablespoons of butter. Give that a good mix. So now that you've kneaded your dough, it's going to take about 3 to 5 minutes to get the perfect consistency and a stiff dough, which should be the perfect time for all of your goodness in your cheeseburger filling to actually be good and ready to go. We're going to set the dough to the side and we're going to work on the filling. Now this is once again your preference. And what I mean by your preference is what you would put on your hamburger. Now, I'm from the upstate area, so we use country sweet. We put a little bit of that in. Then, yes, we add a little bit of buffalo in it. We add a little bit of Ted's. Ted's does a really nice spicy little ketchup in there. You're going to throw that in there. And then cheese. Very important. Whatever you like on your burger, whether it's American cheese, provolone, Swiss, whatever, you're going to grab a big handful, whether it's shredded, whether it's sliced, whether it's diced, cubed. Just add it right in there. Big old handful. Turn your burner off so the cheese can get nice and melty and everything could work in there and make their magic real quick. And we're going to actually clear off our workspace because we are going to get ready to stuff these bad boys, which is super simple, super easy. Alright, now doing these cheeseburger empanadas is super simple. You want to grab your favorite empanada dough, whatever brand, whatever. Some people prefer the orange. I'm just going to use the regular for the cheeseburgers. I grabbed the large, not the small, the large. Just going to put it on your workstation. Now remember that filling I talked about. Nice, cheese is melted, you turned it off. Nice ooey gooey. You want to put that right there in the center like so. Take this, fold this bad boy over like that. Give it a little indent with your fingers. Then take your trusty handy dandy fork. Just don't stab nobody with it, because I know football could be a little aggressive. And then just go around it and fork it closed. Now, what I'm going to do is, most people are going to, once they fill these, fry these. I'm going to do something a little different. We're going to take spray oil, or if you want, you can take regular oil. Grab a brush and just spray both sides. Our brush, both sides, and then you're going to put these on a pan, and we're going to place them in the oven for about 10 minutes on each side at 450. And we'll be back with some golden brown cheeseburger goodness. Our next recipe is going to be half pre-made stuff and half all you. What you're going to need is your favorite store-bought pre-made chili, your favorite hot dogs, favorite cut of pasta. We're going to use spaghetti because this is how the first time I found the recipe and had it prepared for me was with spaghetti. And then you're going to need a lot of other stuff because we can't just rely on the pre-packaged stuff. You need to make it your own, you know what I'm saying? You need to truck it up for yourself, if you get what I'm going with here. You're going to do some onions minced. You're going to do some garlic minced. I use poblano peppers. You can use whatever pepper you want. You want jalapeno. You want it more spicy. Add a scotch bonnet. It's all up to your spice level. And then speaking about spices, we got a little, gimmick of spices here. We got your salt. We got some garlic powder. We got paprika. We got regular pepper. We got onion powder, red chili flakes, chili powder, cumin, and then a little hint of cinnamon that's going to set it aside from everybody else. So we're going to let this pasta boil. We're going to let those empanadas bake, and we're going to get baked, and we'll be back. I told you we'll be back with that golden brown goodness of the cheeseburger empanadas. Look at that. Perfectly baked. You can fry them. You can bake them. Whatever, but look at how delicious these bad boys are. We're going to hurry up and get these in a container and plate them up. We're going to strain our pasta, and I'll be right back to get baked with the chili hot dog cheese bake. We're going to let these empanadas chill for a minute and get a little room temperature before I break into them and show those to you. We are going to get started on two things real quick. In one pot, we're going to get started with our chili hot dog mix. We're going to add the peppers I talked about, onions and garlic, into the pan. We're going to let that cook up, get a little translucent, a little see-through. Then in a stock pot, we're going to get ready to make that cheese sauce, because it does take a while. Because in my cheese sauce, I like adding fresh vegetables. And what I mean by that is I add some minced onions, and then I add some minced garlic, about 4 cloves of garlic and a quarter of an onion, super minced, super diced. Add a half a stick of butter cubed up, and we're going to add that into a pan. We're going to let the butter get, a little toasty and brown. We're going to also let that get translucent. Now we're going to come back to these beautiful little buddies over here. We're going to sit and we're going to, okay, maybe it's a little too hot. But look at that. Tell me that doesn't look like the perfect hamburger filling you'd ever have in your life. Look at the chunks of pickles, onions, meat. It's extra cheesy and gooey. Oh my God. Perfect. Now, once your veggies are about halfway cooked, you're going to add your hot dogs. Add whatever kinds you prefer, but if we're going to do a beef chili base, add a beef hot dog. If you're going to do a turkey chili or a chicken chili base, please add a turkey or chicken hot dog to it, which you can get those anywheres. Now the reason you add the hot dogs like this and let them cook halfway through with those veggies is because you want the hot dogs to have a little bit of crispness on the outside to offset the pasta and that nice chili sauce we're going to get ready to make when those are all done. Once we got our veggies and our butter nice and good, we're going to add 2 ounces of flour, and we are going to stir this, and we're going to turn down the temperature on super low. We're going to let this go for about 7 to 8 minutes, because you don't want to right now throw your liquid in to thicken it up, because it's going to taste like paste. Basically, you need to cook the flour taste out, and you need it to get a little brown. So turn it on your lowest setting if you have low, if you have melt. Turn it on and let it go for a couple minutes. Now that your veggies are translucent and your hot dogs are good and crispy, we're going to get ready to add our favorite chili. Whether it is in a can or it's in a bag, or you go to 7-Eleven, grab a hot dog and just grab a little Slurpee container full of their chili, because it's pretty good too. You're going to dump it in, add the whole content. Then to this, we're going to talk and dump in that little bowl of the good spice we have there. We're going to add all of it in, dump it in. We're going to give that a stir and let the spices cook and marinate in there and get all familiar with the veggies. So that might take a couple minutes, but while we're doing that, waiting for that, please don't forget and do not let your flour burn. Always give it a few stirs here and there. As you can see, it's starting to go from that white color to a little bit of a tan. And you're looking for a little bit of a darker of a color than this to know that it's done. Now that you let your hot dogs, your veggies, and your chili base get all nicey nice, you're going to toss your pasta in here. Everything nice and mixed together. I know it almost looks like SpaghettiOs, but trust me, it's not. It's going to taste 125 times better. Everything's mixed together, you're going to come over to your baking sheet. You're just going to put it just in there like so. Make sure you get everything out of the pan. Don't let any of the good stuff hide behind. Go in there. Make sure there's hot dogs all around. Even it out. Once it's all even, grab some shredded cheddar. Take your shredded cheddar, give it a sprinkle on top. Once you got this bad boy covered with all the cheddar, you're going to keep that oven on 450. We're going to slide it right in the oven, and we're going to let it warm up, melt, get ooey gooey, brown on the top, and that's going to take about 10 to 12 minutes at 450. Now that you got that flour nice and brown, you see how it's not burnt? It's just perfect. You can smell it. It's got a really good toasted veggie smell to it. You're going to take your 2 cups of milk. You're going to slowly add a little of it in. Give it a stir. because if not, it's just going to clump all together. You want to whisk the clumps out in the first stir. As you can see, the milk's starting to get really thick. You're going to add more in. We're going to take the cheese sauce. Well, it's not cheese sauce yet. You got it thickened up, you got it nice and warm. Now we're going to add some stuff to it. This is where I can give you the town you need to be in, which is called Yummyville. But this is where you need to do your own map questing or Google Maps. Because we're going to make a mustard-based sauce. When I tell you the cheese products and the other products we put in the sauce, this is where you can make the cheese sauce your own. We can add beer to it. We can add a can of tomatoes and chili. You can add buffalo sauce and make this a spicy kind of buffalo wing. Up to you how you want to use this base. Once again, I'm only here to tell you the town you need to be in. It's up to you to pick your directions to get there. So I'm going to add in 3 types of mustard. I got a spicy Dijon, regular mustard, and honey mustard. Now, I am from the upstate area, so if you want, you could add a big old glob of blue cheese and a bunch of buffalo hot sauce and actually make a buffalo wing cheese sauce to go with your pretzels if you want. Just a little side note. Don't want to get you sidetracked, but just a little side note. Now, in this old big boy here, we got some shredded cheddar, a bunch of cubes of Velveeta, and then buried in there is a half of 8-ounce cream cheese. You're going to add that in to there, and then you're going to put it back on the burner on low, and just let everything melt and marry together real quick. And when we come back, we're going to get ready to see how that pasta looks. And we're ready to roll out them pretzels and roll one up. Hey folks, we are back. We are baked and we are about ready to pull that baked pasta right out. Ooh, look at how brown that is on top. Look at that melted cheese. Look at the hot dogs looking all crispy on the top. Ooh, whew. I would actually probably... This might be the favorite dish, especially if you got anybody coming over that actually has children. Very kid-friendly dish, as long as you don't put too many red pepper flakes in it. Ooh, look at that. Look at that ooey gooiness. You want to make sure you find a hot dog. It's not like digging for gold, but digging for deliciousness. It's all the same. See, if you just would have added the chili in there, with no spices, it'd be so bland. But you can actually taste what you added. The cinnamon, it's there, but it's not there. It's not up front to punch you right in the face. Oh my God, so good. Please, you can even add that to your weekly meals for your 7-year-old and they'd love you forever. Last but not least, we are going to get rolling. And I mean, literally, we are going to get rolling here to make these pretzel sticks. And the cheese sauce is almost done. As you can see over here, it's getting nice and thick. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, man. Look at that drip. You want to talk about a drip? This is a drip. This is the drip you want. Sorry, but that's the good drip. And it's a golden drip. So you're going to come in here. We are going to grab a knife. My bad. I'm a little forgetful here and there. You're going to cut these bad boys. Boom. No, I'm not cutting them like I'm special. Just, you know, if you're doing a Super Bowl party or you're, you know, doing a cool event, you don't want everything to be all boring. So I give a little cut at an angle and it gives these nice little designs. Now, before we get ready to cook these bad boys, you're going to take some egg yolks with just a splash of cold water. You're going to whisk these up and set these to the side for a second. Now in a pot, You're going to add about 10 cups of hot water, let it get boiling, like raging, angry, ready to, throw it down on the football field, if you know what I mean. Boiling, and then we're going to add about, woo, look at that go. You're going to add baking soda, you're going to add about half a box. You're going to let the water come back up to a little boil. Turn it down. You're going to drop these bad boys in there for about a minute. Get yourself a pan. Give a little spritz so nothing sticks. Come over here, you want to get a strainer ladle here. Or one of these spiders, whatever you guys want to call them. Everything in the kitchen is called 50 different things. You want to get those out of that baking soda bath. We're going to put those in here. Then when you get those in your pan, you're going to organize them real quick. Now that whisked egg, you're going to take the egg wash and give these a little wash. Like so. Wash. Give them a little yellow. Which, don't worry, that yellow is going to turn into some nice crispy brown golden crunchy action with that nice soft airy inside. Now you want to get flake salt. Not coarse salt, ground salt. You want to get flake salt. You might have to get that at a specialty store. And you're just going to put a little on top. Sprinkle a little there, a little here, a little all over the pan. And then we're going to put these in an oven at 450 degrees for 10 minutes. Alright, I forgot one big thing with the pretzels. The time depends on the thickness of how you roll the pretzels. I rolled them a little thick, so instead of the 10 minutes, you're going to do about 12 to 15. Like I said, I rolled them a little thick. Look at how they came out. Look at how brown and crisp, even on the bottom, they came. And then as soon as you pull them apart, look at that. Look at that steam come off. Look. Crispy on the outside, nice and doughy on the inside. Perfect consistency. Cheese sauce came out perfect. It was on melt the whole time. We were preparing everything, so it's going to be nice and warm to serve up. As you can see, all three meals, or all three munchies, are done. So let's get ready for the Super Bowl Sunday. We have our warm, super crispy, soft, doughy pretzels with that mustard cheese sauce. So remember, you can make that cheese sauce any way you want. We're going to move on to this pasta baked chili with spaghetti, beef hot dogs. I've topped it off with just a dollop of sour cream, a little green onions for presentation. Kids will love that. Trust me, it will be one of the all-time favorites. Then last but not least, don't forget about the cheeseburger empanadas. This is better than a field goal. So let's get ready for the Super Bowl. Let's go tight ends. Hold on, let's go Bengals. Yeah. They're in the Super Bowl. All right, we'll truck it up in the kitchen next time or for any event you need me for.